Is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys wanna just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I got. He's like, I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is gonna help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through. And this is what he told me. This is honestly what he said. He goes, look, man, I get it, all right? He's trying to relate to me. And he was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. So I can't buy a ticket under my nickname Bart. They're not gonna let me through. And he said it like, right? Like, do you know, does that make sense? And I was like, that doesn't at all. Those are 2 different names, all right? I should be over there and you should be over here because that's how you're treating me. Like I'm a Joseph Bart. I made it through. And on that trip, I was going to Seattle. And if you've ever been to Seattle, Mount Rainier is near Seattle. That's what they call it that. And I don't know if that's true, just so y'all, it felt like y'all took that like, yeah. So we were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier is it's the 3rd biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number 1 or number 2 is, but maybe one day it will be number 1, you know? Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. So it's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a 1 or a 2. So me and my buddy, we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse just laid out in this guy's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse, it dying. You know, what do? That's a huge thing, dying in your yard. You can't just scoot it off into the woods with your foot and try to get another one that matches before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to probably try to get another horse to help you do it, and that's not easy. That's what the blinders were invented for, because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back. No, look. Or you got to get your friends to help you do it, and you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You think it's hard for them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. You gotta lie to them, like, we're getting a divorce. Just come over, bring your truck and some gloves. And when they get there, let me tell you, they're gonna see it, all right? Everybody saw it. It was next to the road. And they're gonna pull into that driveway and just be like, I don't think they're getting a divorce at all. I think we're here to move that dead horse is what I think. Let's let him bring it up, all right? Make him ask. But I'll be shocked if we don't touch that dead horse today. And if you ever have to move a dead horse, I've thought a lot about all this. You want to be the first one to the horse, all right? You don't want someone else to tell you where to grab a dead horse. So you run out there like you love it. Like you're like, this is what I hoped it was. And get to the hoofs in the front and be like, all right, I'm here. You guys decide where you guys want to be. So now we are basically at Mount Rainier. That was the whole car ride. And if you ever go, just so you know, you have to pay to go up it. It's not a free mountain. Someone bought it, and they're charging tickets. It's also all uphill. It's a nightmare. So be ready for those things. We drive up, we park, and we're walking up the trail. So we're going up it. Halfway, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, so I stopped them. I was like, hey, is this enough where we're at? You know, is this like, you get it? Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain. And the lady goes, I'm 75 years old, and I did it. And I was like, all right, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked. Everybody's pretty cocky on the way down. I mean, there was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car. They looked exhausted. I'm surprised they're not just babies left up there and rangers have to come down. Whose baby's this? That's ours. We're gonna let it grow up and come down on its own. So we get our picture and we come back down and we're driving back. And on the way back, since my buddy was driving, he did not see the dead horse, you know? And I'm like, well, you can't not see it. So it's just one road, and I was like, I'll just show you where it's at. So we're driving, and we get to it. I was like, it's right here. And I pointed, and the horse was standing up, doing unbelievable. One of the healthier horses that I've ever seen. So I learned that horses lay down to sleep. I did not know that. I don't know what I thought before that day. I don't know. That they lock their knees. That's why they have 4 knees. I don't know. That's what I would have probably argued with you about it. People put signs up that say, like, horses lay down, don't call 911, because people call the police. They drive by a horse laying down in some guy's yard, and they're like, y'all guys should go, like, deal with that. And they're like, some people knock on people's door. Hey, is your dad home? Your horse died outside. And I thought you should hear it from a stranger first. I'm married. I'm still married, and thanks. Yeah. I like to say it, you know, like I'm at the same job, just like, yeah, no, still work there. Yeah, right out of high school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks, and it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not, you know, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live, and I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, you know? We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. She's good at not talking to me. She can go a long time. She could do her whole marriage career. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, "Why did you bring it home?" And I was like, "You're supposed to drink it after you work out." And she was like, "That's not true." And I was like, "Well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did." So I decided to listen to them. And she said, "That's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk." And I was like, "You don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people." And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, "We got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk." She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, you know, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, "Oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead." She'll be watching TV, I'm like, "Ma'am, are you watching this?" I couldn't tell, I was gonna change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all, that we all just know. Here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And don't be like, "We were gonna watch it tonight. We were gonna go to Blockbuster on the way home and..." So he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, you know? We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, what do they show him dying? Yeah, that guy shoots him with a gun. That's how the movie's starting. That's how obvious they're like, hey, he's dead. And we still watched it for 2 hours, just like, I know what this guy's going through, you know? This is a movie about marriage and how hard marriage is. Yeah, even if you get shot, it's your fault. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do, you know? Nothing was wrong with her, I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker.